Alrighty, hey howdy hi everybody, May here, back again with another speed build, but today it's a special one. We are doing Little Simsie's llama shell. I will say I got this video up way later than I originally intended. I wanted to have it up before she did the tours on her channel, but she already did them a few days ago, but better late than never, I say. So as I do the roof stuff here, I'm going to fill you in on what a speed build is in case you're, what a shell challenge is in case you're unaware. Shell challenge is often content creators such as Lil Simsie did this one. We'll make a box with a shell in it. Sometimes there's interior walls, sometimes we're not, but the main goal is just do not touch the walls. The exterior walls have to stay. If there are any interior walls, those have to stay. I don't believe there were any in this one though. And you can't build around on the outside walls. The shell has to stay the shell. So it kind of limits what you can do, but I also think it helps me personally at least experiment with things that I haven't tried and be creative in different ways. Like in this build, I definitely made some decisions based on where the walls were that I definitely wouldn't have made for a house like this. So I think it's a good use of creativity and to figure out new things and new uses for items and in the game. So anyways, we're jumping in. I did the roof line there. I think I cut out some of it because it took me a long time, but it's pretty much finished now, the shape that I wanted to do. I also really wanted to have it be long and be like a ranch style house because I usually like to make houses that look smaller from the front and then kind of go further back. But I wanted this to have the long side facing out a little bit to challenge myself and a little again, since it's this shell challenge, to do something different. So while working on this, again, for those who haven't seen my videos, my name is Elmayski. Actually, it's Lauren, but you can call me Lauren, Elmay, whatever you want. And I make Sims builds and play the game. So far, I've only had a few speed builds on the channel, but I have a lot of half-finished builds I'm working on. So we're going to get to it there, and hopefully you enjoy the content, and I'll have more uploaded for you. All right, so as we finish this up, I'm deciding exactly what I want to do for the layout of the exterior, where I want to put things. And in a second here, I'm going to move lots because I could just not handle the lighting. I love this lot. I love how it touches the edge. They usually don't in this game, as many of you I'm sure know. But I really like how that did that there, and I wanted to use the lot so bad, but I really wanted to have a nice gallery photo for this one, to be honest, and the lighting here just wasn't doing it. Wasn't it? So I'm trying to see if I could deal with that, and then I end up not as I'm working on this here on the outside. I'm like, nope, not good enough. So you'll see right here, I'm about to switch. I'm going to go to Brindleton Bay. It's a 40 by 30 lot off in the corner. It's one of my absolute favorite lots to build in. The lighting is nice. It's a good size. And honestly, the area around it is just beautiful. Big fan of this lot. So that's where we are. It's the pack that came with cats and dogs. And as you can see here, I'm kind of have, well, I guess I should say first, I'm using the growing together stuff because I kind of wanted a bit of that craftsman style mixed with the farmhouse. So the door and the windows are all growing together, as well as that bigger column and the spandrels up top and the stone. But the fence I used there and the small blue columns are cats and dogs, which is the world we're in. And then the shutters are horse ranch. So I really wanted to combine a more, I want it to be farmhousey ranch style, and I end up putting farm stuff around, so it makes sense. But I also wanted to have a little more update, modern, cutesy family home vibes, and I really think all these items work together really well. Here I am trying to figure out the exact coloring of the outside and stuff. I have most of the front laid out pretty well, and honestly, I was really happy with how this looks. You'll see later, one thing I do have to do when I try to figure out the layout on the inside is move the front door to the side and put more windows where the front door is, but I think that works as well, and you'll see that later. I don't know where those planter boxes are from, what pack, but they are absolutely one of my favorites, and they came in that same wood tone that I was using everywhere. This fence here is from Eco Lifestyle that I'm putting in also. Huge fan. I love to use it in shell challenges because it's like the height of a wall. So if you want to use it kind of like there's a wall there, you can, but it's not actually a wall. So it's not cheating, it's working around the system. So I use that to build it in a little bit better, and I think it looks really nice. And it was clipping with the spandrels up top, so I just deleted those where it was. I think if you hold shift, or it might be alt, don't quote me, if you're on PC and you want to delete just one spandrel at a time, you could do it that way, or else it would delete like the whole room's worth. And obviously I wanted it in the other spaces. Now I'm trying to figure out the layout on the inside. The furniture you see me placing here is just placeholder furniture. Like I'm just putting it there to kind of get an idea of the spacing, which I really like to do. because I find sometimes if I don't, I'll get nitpicky about what I'm using in the kitchen, and then I'll realize the kitchen doesn't even work there and I have to redo it all, and that's not fun. I also did cut out a lot here of me trying to figure out the floor plan, because I swear I struggled with this floor plan for probably 45 minutes in real life, like just going back and forth, because I loved that little kitchen nook in the dining room, but I just had so much trouble because I know I wanted to have a primary and at least 2 other bedrooms on this floor, and it's not that big. But I think what we end up doing works out really well. And as you can see, I moved that front door over mainly because I didn't want to enter right into the back of the couch. I wanted to have some sort of entryway, and if I built it out there, it would kind of be a more closed off floor plan. And I'm personally one that's a fan of more open floor plans. I think they're more homey, more lively, just I think they're better that way. So I decided to move the front door to the side, which is something, again, I rarely ever do. If this was my build, I probably, like from scratch, I probably would have just pulled some walls out and stuff to make an entry. But since I can't do that in a shell challenge, it had me do something a little creative there. And I think it turns out really nice. So also while I was building this, that Party Essentials kit had just come out. So obviously I had to use it everywhere. And this is actually supposed to be like a selfie wall, the tile I'm putting in. But if you size it down twice, it fits perfectly pretty much into a single slot. And so I use it as a backsplash. I will say a lot of the colors I don't love for most of the styles of homes that I build. Most of the color schemes I like, but this one in particular I think is really pretty. And it really helped me to decide the color scheme of the house, because I knew I wanted to have a soft, light, again, homey color scheme. And I wanted to use the blues that I used outside. But this backsplash really helped me incorporate other colors to build off that. Also, I'm going to admit it right now, my name is Elme and I have a problem. And my problem is I cannot stop using these for rent kitchen cabinets. Every single build I've made recently has had these cabinets, and almost all of them this swatch too. Those ones and the ones from the Home Chef Hustle kit, best cabinets. However, the Home Chef Hustle is a little more modern for me, and a lot of the colors are more muted, or the countertop is like flat, and it just doesn't always fit my vibes. Also, I'm putting this bowl on this cabinet here so they don't try to cook on it with the full length cabinet, because a lot of times Sims don't realize that that's blocked, so they'll try to like half make something on the cabinet that's blocked, and then all of a sudden your Sims are like, ooh, something smells, and you can't find it. So I put a little bowl on there just so they wouldn't try to cook on it. Anyways, I'm gonna do some decorating here now. I'm trying to figure out what wallpaper I'm gonna use. One of the main things I love about the idea of having like a separate piece for the backsplash instead of having to use a tile is, see the trim along top of all the painting. I don't know why I'm pointing it like you can see. This is gonna look really weird in the video. But that trim, I hate when you just start like the kitchen tile and the paint color is different and the trim is gone. Like on that same wall, it bugs my little OCD heart too much. I can't do it. So what I like about these tiles is that you can kind of custom place them on the wallpaper, so you still have that tile and paint color go across. Usually I would just put a column there. That's how I've kind of dealt with it in the past, but I prefer this method. Honestly, the main reason I usually go into CC is because I like to have little pieces like that. Like I need more custom content, but then I don't like using custom content because then not everyone can do my builds, and then honestly I go a little too hard with it. Also, you'll notice my last couple of builds have kind of had this color scheme of like the starter homes that I did and the first 2 speed builds I posted, and it's just because this color scheme works so well, and there's so many good items in the game with these colors. Like that, those 2 rugs that I have there, I think are the exact ones I used in the non-base game starter home I did. So, oops, but it works, so it's fine. It's fine. So what I'm doing now is I want to incorporate more of that blue around, and I wanted to have some 2 accent walls. So I took this same paint that I used everywhere else, and I used a couple blue accents around. I'm also going to cut out here. At first I wanted to put the bar in, but I cut out me doing the whole entry, because after I do another like hour of building here, I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I was telling her about the shell challenge, because, you know, I like to share my hobbies with my mom, my interests. And I was like, oh shit, there's a basement, and I totally forgot about it. So I loved how the entry looked, but I really, like, for myself wanted to include the basement. So I had to redo the whole thing, and it becomes a much smaller entryway so I could fit a staircase down to the basement. But I think it works, and I end up fitting another bedroom down there and a whole like laundry room. So I think it was the right choice. But again, I did cut out that whole entry bar thing just because you don't need to see me spend that much time on something that's just going to be deleted. And a lot of that honestly had to do is I just wanted to use the bar and stuff because it was new with the new pack. Like this was the first build I did with the Party Essentials kit. Um, which honestly I think is a pretty decent kit. Like it's not one of the best, but it has a few really good standout items. For one, you'll see I kind of have set on the side in the kitchen is that record player. Obviously, we talked about the backsplash. I think the bar, and one of the reasons I really wanted to use it, it's one of my new favorite bars in game. I think it's the best one that we have so far, pretty much, because it's really simple and but it's pretty and it's nice, and I think it looks good in a home as opposed to being like this is a bar. It's more just like this is a piece of cabinetry furniture that we turned into a bar, if that makes sense. Which I think is a lot better for the kind of homes that I build, the kind of family style stuff. You know, they're not like we have a bar. It's this is our bar section. Also, those cabinets in For Rent, I also have a problem with those because I use those in every build too. Usually, specifically as a TV console because they seamlessly slide together so well, and you'll see later I can push them pretty far into the wall to make them look pretty skinny under the TV as a console. And they're just so pretty. Like that's something that I would buy for my home in real life if I had room for another thing like that. I think they're perfect for that. Honestly, they give me more this vibes than dresser vibes, but I also like that they function like a dresser in game because it's nice that they're not just a shelf, that they're functional. Also, since I wanted family home energy, I do include, I took it out, but I do put it back, some of those pictures that if you did download this slot and play in it, you can put pictures of your Sims in them from the Growing Together pack. You usually have to do a, I think, family reunion to unlock them, get a gold star, I think. Um, but this way, since no one was living in this house when I built it, I can use all those little cheaty things. So I just put it in there. And also, for those big fans of The Sims that are maybe looking at that couch, like where did it come from? I don't see that in the catalog. That's because it's a debug item from Eco Lifestyle. When I do these kind of builds, I have better build buy on, which just allows me to access debug a lot easier. But there are cheats that you can look up to access debug even if you can't download mods or don't want to. And I really like that couch. I think it fits with the very simplistic, clean, but still homey feel. I liked how it had the wood accents. Um, we're going back in, we're doing some clutter. I do cut out a lot of the clutter because when I clutter my Sims builds, my OCD perfectionism kicks in and I'm like, no, I have to move this 2 centimeters over, and then I move the cabinet out of the way, and then I put it there, and then I have to move it back. It's a whole thing. So I do cut out a lot of the clutter, but I do show you some. And I love, again, how this house turned out, considering it was a shell challenge. I think at the end, when you look at it, it doesn't really look like I had to work around pre-existing walls, which I'm really proud of because I know some of the other shells I've done before kind of look like, if only you had this there. Oh, hi, mister. You want to join the speed build? Anyways, we're doing some cluttering in here. I feel like sim builds don't look finished until they're cluttered at least a little bit. Like, I feel like that's a really important part to make it feel finished in like a home. I will say my style in real life definitely is more cluttered and less, clean, empty surfaces and stuff. I like having stuff around that I can see. I think part of it is my ADHD lack of object permanence. I need to be able to see my things to know I have them. But I guess that more fits into my style maybe, so you might not agree with it. But for me, I really need to have that to finish up the homes. And again, I really wanted this to feel very homey and lived in. Other than the fact I didn't go in and put pictures in the frames, but that's fine. So I also put some of this like kid toys around in front of that cabinet I also didn't want you to cook on. So I guess I didn't need to put the bowls there, but whatever, it's fine. They're there if you want to grab them. So we're going in now. I also do cut out a few other things. Like always, I think I cut out the bathrooms because they're just not that interesting to watch. And I do cut out most of the backyard, mostly just because at one point I realized I wasn't recording it. And I was like, oh, shit. I'll just like finish it up now. But I do show you the primary of the landscaping. Spoiler with the backyard, though, is this is a farmhouse in Burlington Bay. There's room for 2 horses, and there's a little chicken coop. So you see it in the corner down there what lot we're on. I think we're going to go to landscaping now. I jumped around a lot in this build, so I showed you the order I did it in. And I also do place already too many goats and too many sheep from debug, as well as some bunnies around. And those are actually like playable. Like when you buy the house, they're like you went to, or you ordered them online, or you went to the store and you adopted the mini goats and sheep, even though they're from debug. So if you don't want them, maybe place the lot and get rid of them before your Sims move in, or else they're part of the family. Right. So with the landscaping, I knew I wanted it to be, I put the fences around because I wanted it to be kind of contained, but I also wanted even the parts that are contained to feel more natural and overgrown a little bit. Like still pretty and groomed, but to some extent just very lush. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's how I use that word. So you can see in here I'm going through a lot and I'm trying to find a lot of different plants that I like to fill it in, but I also didn't want to add too much color or anything. Oh, my cat's crawling the cabinets again, if you can hear that. I didn't want to add too much color to detract from the house because it gives very quiet, comfy, serene vibes, I feel, from the outside. And I didn't want to do like bright pink and purple flowers everywhere that detracted from that. So I just focused on the colors I wanted to accent, and I used yellow and white primarily with the green, which I really liked. I feel like the yellow really brightens it up. Plus, may be a little basic, but I'm obsessed with sunflowers. I don't care; they're gorgeous. Yellow's my favorite color. I get to have it. So I added those in, and I added the white flowers, and I feel like there's just enough blue on the house, but the yellow really brings out those light wood tones I had, or those orangey wood tones, and I think it ties it together really well. So I'm very proud of how it turned out. Oh, and I also added these little mushrooms from the cottage living debug. I love these little mushrooms. Again, I don't like mushrooms in real life; they disgust me. However, in the game, I think they add that cute little overgrown kind of, I don't know, fairy tale touch. I don't even know if that's the right word, but that's the vibes that these little mushroom plants give me in this game. They add that little sense of charm and whimsy. Also, I don't know if you caught that, but the backyard a little bit, the horse stuff is there. See, I didn't film it. That's my bad. Also, when I put this tile down, it was just for me to lay out the floor plan and stuff. Oh, also, I didn't show you. There's a garage. Yeah, I forgot to film some stuff. Anyways, there's a fake garage there. Nice. Still no cars in The Sims 4, but garages are nice to have. Plus, in my head, if it's cold or bad weather, the horses will go in there. It's nice to have an indoor spot for them because they kind of just have covers where that is. Um, but anyways, I when I put this tile down around the backyard and on the driveway, I wasn't meaning to keep this exact tile for the stones, but I end up really liking it because of for when the colors are just really nice and muted, but it's got a little bit of the tan with the gray without being overwhelming. But also, when you see the front, the road that leads up to it, another one that touches the lot. Win. If you're a big Sims builder, you get it. Has that similar kind of checkered vibes you can see there, and I really like that. So I'm going through and I'm just adding a little bits of landscaping. I did use my favorite tree again. For those of you who've seen my other builds, I rave about this one. I found it in Debug. It's from Growing Together. Not Growing Together. Get Together. The Sims names are too similar for their packs, I swear. They have a trend. And I do put those in a lot, and I mix them in with some from, I believe that the ones with the white trunks there are from Cats and Dogs, which is the world that we're in. So I wanted to make it look like it fit with the other landscaping around as well. I also toy with putting a third horse bed in the fake garage, but I feel like it just takes up too much room. I want it to look, for the most part, like you could still fit a car or something in there. So in my head, if it's bad weather though, the horses will just go in there. And here I'm placing little goats and sheep. I love to use the pink sheep because to me in game it looks like a little pig, and we don't have pigs, and I think that's so cute to have a little pink sheep that looks like a pig. So that is what I why I always seem to put a pink one when I play with mini goats and sheep. Also, here's the laundry room I told you about down there. I cut that out as well. Around the corner of the stairs, how you had to place them because Little Simsie is so nice. None of the walls touched the edge of anything upstairs, and you couldn't put the stairs on the edge of the room. At least I couldn't without moving over too much, and they didn't touch the edge up there, so there was no like really good way to do it. So I ended up putting in the middle, but right around I put a little door to like a utility room, and the rest is laundry. And then behind the stairs, there's a door to another small room that has another ensuite bathroom down there, which I ended up making a teens room. So in total, there's a little bunny down there I placed. And I didn't notice this when I placed them. Some of the garden plots are not facing the right way. However, that's just a quick turn fix if you download this lot. Like I like to alternate them, kind of checkerboard them, and I did not do that successfully. But that's okay. It's fine. Just don't look at it. But anyways, this house I had designed to fit an adult sim or a couple, a, child, a toddler, and then downstairs in that bedroom, a teen. Okay, so now we're moving on to the toddler's room, and let me just say, when I give you the tour, this is one of my absolute favorite toddler's rooms I've done, excuse me, in a long time. I absolutely adore it. I think it turns out so cute. And it's all based off this wallpaper. I figure when the kid is really little, like the parents have completely designed the room, and most of this house has a very yellow and blue kind of color scheme, you know, just light, natural blue tones. Like, obviously, I included some other colors, like I talked about with the backsplash, working off that. But I figure the toddler's room would very much follow those kind of color schemes and vibes, but you get the chance to have more fun, you know, exciting stuff because it's a kid's room. And I really like how it turns out. I think it's so cute. The little blue, like, baseboards painted with that cloud rug. Oh, see, I personally, like, don't think, and I don't personally at this point want to have kids in my life. That's my personal decision for myself. However, if I ever did and do and I had money, this is what the toddler's room would look like. Gorgeous. I love it. And also that light fixture I put, it's like one of those circular, or I guess spherical, paper kind of things. And I had one of those in my room as a kid, and I don't know why I loved it. I thought it was so cool because I don't have a ceiling light. Well, in my room growing up as a kid, I didn't have a ceiling light. So I had to have a cord and like a hook that it hang off of, but I felt so fancy. Like the cord went up the wall and around over the ceiling, then it like hung off the shelf. But I was like, oh my god, I have a ceiling light. Look at me. I am so fancy. So that's why I put that particular light fixture because it reminds me of my childhood. And honestly, I think it's really cute. Like I think it really works for the room. I also, for the kids' color bedroom, wanted to keep similar soft vibes of the house because, again, it's still just a kid. You know, parents, I feel like when the child's relatively young, still have a good amount of say in their kids' room. But I wanted to feel a little bit more personalized to the child. And then I make the child like have a little child's violin, and I do end up putting one of those stand-up horse ranch pianos in this little side covered porch area over there. So in my head, the child that lived in this room is a musician, and then I gave the teen a bunch of like painting stuff and easels. And then in my, so we have a musician, a painter, and then in my like head some more, the third child would be like the one that takes over the whole farming stuff. That being said, though, this little sheep rug, again, the little blue cacti in it, playing off the blue trim in this, I think it turned out so cute. Like, I am so proud of how much personality I was able to fit in such small rooms because I believe they're 3 by 4. I don't know. It doesn't look like a square. At first, I thought they were 3 by 3, but they might be 3 by 4. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it's 3 by 4 now. 100%, yeah, that's a 3 by 4 room. Anyways, it's still a relatively small room, especially for The Sims, but I think I was able to fit a lot of personality and still have the ones upstairs fit really well with the house, especially the toddler's one, which is closer to the rest of the house, and then this one too. Not that that's important. Oh, I also gave her knitting or cross stitching because I think kids can cross stitch in the game. Not sure, but I think they can. Um, but I love how it was able to fit in with the house but still maintain its own personality there, and I think that that's really fun, especially for a kids room. And usually when I do kids rooms, they're a little more like chaotic and bright, so doing that one with the subdued colors was really fun for me. I also think I showed it real quick and then I kind of like stopped, but I did put hopscotch and marbles outside on the like little sidewalk there, and I think that's such a cute touch. Like, what I want them to add though is a little box of chalk that I can put like next to it, or like some more chalk decals I can put around, because that kind of thing is so cute. Like I was talking before, like that's the kind of thing that makes in The Sims a house feel like a home, in my opinion. But it's also, again, my style. Like I'm not the kind of person to keep things neat and together, and there's a place for everything and everything goes in its place. I like to have clutter, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of fun just everywhere. um sort of like how it turned out. And then I also personally felt a deep need to use the white picket fence, um, because a family little farmhouse home, it felt right. Also, in the primary bedroom, I wanted to, again, since it's the people, you know, you think the primary bedroom, they designed the rest of the house, so their bedroom would be relatively similar style. So I wanted to keep the soft, muted, bluey, you know, vibes, but I wanted to tone it down a little bit more, I guess, serene and just relaxing. So I end up, for the most part, using a lighter wood tone and like a softer wood tone, and have the white baseboard around everywhere. And I also like how that turns out. I also used this bump out here that on the outside looks like a chimney to put a little desk in, and I think it fits really nice because there's nowhere really else to put a desk in the house. Of course, you don't need one for a computer, but I think it's nice to have a primary, like, select space for a desk. And it just fit there so well. And I wasn't going to put a window in that nook because it was the fireplace. So I figured there was no reason to put, like, like a seat in there or anything. I felt like that was the best use of the space. And I'm also able to fit a good amount of horse ranch stuff, actually, but a full length mirror, and I end up switching that full length mirror so I can fit a chair still. But I fit a full length mirror there and a dresser, and I think it's really cute and sweet. Again, I wanted this to feel like the rest of the home, but just be a little bit more calming vibes, a little just softer vibes. Um, so that's what I do in this room. I also, these mason jar lights, I think they're from Parenthood. Honestly, since they became part of the game, they are some of my absolute favorite hanging lights in the game. To be fair, I kind of have a thing for mason jars. I like to use them as cups and stuff, and I think they're really pretty. So I might be a little biased. All right, so down here we're in the teens bedroom, which again, that was part of the time, like the laundry room where I forgot to hit record. So we did skip it a little bit, but it's okay. We get the decorating, the vibes now. I wanted to make this room feel quite different from the rest of the house. I feel like the energy to some degree is still the same. Like, I don't know, the wood tones and the patterns and the wallpaper. I feel like it still gives some degree farmhousey, but more like dark academia farmhousey, if that makes sense. I don't know. I think it looks really nice, and I like building in that bookshelf there. I usually don't like to push items in so you can see the wallpaper behind it, but in my head, they like just built in shelves and around the wallpaper. Like, it's actually not pushed into the wall. I mean, of course, it's not in real life. You can't just push things into the wall. But I wanted to fit it like that so that you could see the wallpaper behind it, and I think it's really nice. I also turned these like weird bump outs, one of them into a closet, and the other one's upstairs under the kitchen, or by the kitchen. I turned that one into a pantry, which I think works really nice. All right, and then I come back upstairs after doing all that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never finished this room. Another thing I do in pretty much all my Sims builds when they have kids is I like to give them each a different Blarfy. Like, for me, I have a stuffed animal named Teddy. I know, a teddy bear named Teddy. I was so original. I actually tried to change its name once, and I was like, no, it doesn't feel right. Teddy's Teddy. I don't even remember what I tried to change it to. But I've had my whole life. So even the older Sims and the teens, when they're in their childhood home, I still like to give them a little stuffed animal. So this Sim has a cat. I believe the other Sim has a bunny, which is like an unlockable. But again, when there's no Sims living here, you have all the unlockables. And then downstairs, I gave her the black dog one, which was nice because it had the green kind of bandana and it matched really well with the room. So I was really happy about that. And then this one, just a little soft white kitty. I also struggled a lot with the wall stuff in this bedroom. I cut a lot out because I wanted to use those cupcake pictures, but I never knew how to fit them the right way. I tried a bunch of different stuff. I think I ended up putting 3 across on the wall. But again, that's just me getting a little perfectionist-y when it comes to this kind of stuff. I kind of overthink it, and I do things that anyone else would be like, oh, it looks great, and then I make a change, and they're like, it looks just as great. I really, like, obviously you moved something, but there's no difference to me, and I'm like, there's a big difference to me. That, like, complete change. So when it comes to my own builds, I do get a little nitpicky, which is why you see I cut out a lot of clutter type stuff, because it's just, you don't need to see me go back and forth 90 times. No one does. It's a lot. And I put 3 handprints on the wall. In my mind, like, they have 3 kids and they have each their handprints, and I put some of those family photo things around next to each one, so I feel like they put a picture of each of their kids maybe next to the corresponding handprint. And I even go in and add light switches. I know, I'm pretty sure I got every room too. I'm so proud of me. I never add light switches in my game, mostly because if I'm playing, I'm like, why would I spend money on that? But since I'm just building, I don't need to care about it. So everywhere was light switches. The only thing that was annoying, if you look here, I don't know if I show it, but I cut that part out. So I couldn't put the light switches on the backsplash next to the sink where I wanted to. So I had to kind of put them around over on the cabinet. I don't think that's super realistic for real life. But it's The Sims. They don't actually use the light switches. So, hi, I'm sorry. That probably cut off at like a really weird point because I was too busy talking about light switches to realize my video was about to end. But anyways, we're back into the game here, as you can see, and I'm gonna give you a tour of the finished product. And honestly, the lighting right now at the time of day it is in game couldn't be better. I'm actually really happy about that. So anyways, we got my little tester sim here that I did do gameplay testing. The only thing I didn't test in this game, because I just had the one sim or in this house, is anything with pets, I guess, and the toddler bed, because I didn't have a toddler. If the toddler bed's broken, if you download this and you can't put the toddler to bed, it could be the nightstand. I sometimes have issues with that circular short nightstand. If it's too close to the bed, not working, like not be able to put the toddler to sleep. So if that's the case, move the nightstand over. But I think it'll work. I tried to be careful about that. Anyways, I'm going to try to do one of my classic struggling tours in tab mode. So let's just hop right into it. All right. So we're going to go up to the front door here. I love how this porch turned out. I actually, Mom, when you watch this video, this was one of the things where I was like, when I built this house, my intent wasn't like, oh my gosh, my mom would love to live here. I guess she doesn't have like small kids anymore, so like that stuff would be a little useless, but the overall vibes I feel like would be a house she'd love to live in, because like a big front porch with a rocking chair and a bench, and I acting like they're growing a little lemon bush up there, and then like just the big walk around everything there. Maybe we can do the outside first. So if you go around here, you follow the little paths, and then you have the garden plot. I gave Patchy there. In that back corner is a little bunny hive they come out of, and a woohoo bush, and I guess I forgot to put a mailbox, so it's in the back corner of the lot. My bad. Anyways, I always forget something. You come back around this path, you got some beautiful landscaping, and I also put in a little fire pit with these folding chairs. Best folding chairs in the game. Look at that, it's a little frog and a little like dog. Oh, so cute. And then you have a porch, you have a dining table, some horse barrels to do some training. You have the tent from Dream Home Decorator, which is like cracked in imagination skill, I think, going up. I think that's the one that like it's gonna go quick. I also gave monkey bars, a swing set, 2 little balls for the horses to play with, one back there. And then you have a chicken coop, feeders. This grass is the ones the horse will like eat in game, so it's good to help feed them. There's the chicken coop. Um, I'll go this way. And then there's the stables. And then I put big double doors here to think of bad weather. The horses can easily come in here if they wanted to, even though I think the cover is fine in game. I should have painted the ceilings. Anywho, you have some bikes in the corner, another water station. I gave the nectar making skill, all these little mini goats and sheep, flower arranging. That's a speaker, oops, on the wall above it. And then over here, I wanted to put a little games table, but I thought it felt weird in the back, like right next to a regular table, because it just looks like a regular table. So I put it around this side corner instead, which I feel like makes decent use of the space. You also have your garbage cans there, and then that gate would lead you back around front. Oops. Come on, Tab, you can do it. Maybe you can't. Anywho. If you come back around here, this is that side court area I was talking about, where I gave, I put a bonsai tree, a little piano, and another rocking chair, and then it wraps around, it's a little tight. You have an easel, a chess table, and a grill as well. So I'm not going to enter through the side, so let's go back around the front, show you what this area looks like anyways. Nice garage. I use those little like flag ones from For Rent. I love the eaves from For Rent. They're so pretty. Anyways, so we're going to go back over this way. Another bike up front. I like using this like it's an actual, it's not wheelbarrow, is it? That's going to bug me. The things that you pull, you get it. I like to use wagon. One of those there, a telescope, so you can die or watch the sky, you know, whichever you prefer. And then you turn the corner to the front door here. I put a little front mat, a light. And this is the entryway. Again, I had to make it smaller so I could fit the stairs. You can see the railing back behind it, but I still think it looks really nice. And I put a spot to like drop your keys and your phone, some books, a little chair there to take off shoes or whatever. Family portraits waiting to happen. And then if you curve around this way, you have a beautiful open concept living, dining, kitchen area. I even was able to fit the little record player, plant stand. You got a bookshelf, a couch with the frame TV there. I love those little like owls together too. And again, I put a lot of clutter around here, like there's kids living here. So if you look in the living room, like I have this little turtle plushie and a pillow on the ground. The pop-up books over there. I also put these sunflowers in a little bucket. So like those sunflowers are an item, and then the bucket's a separate item, and I put them in there so it looks like it's the pot for it. Um, and then the dining space, I hung up a bunch of custom like kids artwork that maybe they made all in this section, and the board from Parenthood as well, where you can set stuff like curfews and reminders. I also put the flower or the friendship making bracelet, friendship bracelet making thing on the table, as well as the little bear and some more toy decor. They also have some more a toy box over there and a little decor item. Here's this angle, and again, that flower pick painting is actually a TV from the Modern Lux kit. And then this kitchen, I think, is a really nice layout. So you come in here, you have the peninsula, a nice sink in front of the window next to the fridge, some nice flowers, and those books up there are actually a shelf from the Book Nook kit, but I slid it into the fridge so it kind of looks like there's just books up there. And then a whole nice built-in stove area. And I love the paper towel holder, especially this swatch of it on the for rent cabinets. It's so pretty. And then through this door, I just put a tiny like fake pantry area. So that's all it is. But I figure maybe if your Sims have a cat in game or something, you can take that out, put a litter box in here. It's just a nice, it's not functional, but it's for this little space, I think it was a good use of it and very practical. I also have some aprons hanging up there, and this little, I love this little bear thing that like a child made. And then if you come back through this way, I used some of the decal door things from high school years on some of them, which is why I like to use this door. You come into the toddler room, which again, I just think is so cute. Like this cabinet, when the movie Hangout kit came out, or Stuff Pack came out, I was obsessed with it. I loved it. It had that boho feeling, and we didn't have anything else like it in game, so I used a lot of items. Now, this is one of the few items that I still use like consistently, but I absolutely love it. Dollhouse, some toys, the little blocks. I got the giant bunny and those shelves on the wall, the cross stitch. I just think it turned out so cute. I'm really proud of this room. And like the little door there, I like to think maybe one of her sisters did it for her, the artsy one or something. Maybe she did all the doors for her siblings. And then, spoiler alert, anyways, you come back through this way, I'll show you the child age bedroom. Again, very cutesy color scheme, very soft vibes. I think it turns out really nice. I was able to fit the cupcakes I wanted on the wall and the little tapestries. I don't know if you can access this bookshelf, but there's bookshelves everywhere. She's got the little drawing table because she's not the artist, but I mean, it's a nice thing to have in a kid's room. Maybe she also likes art. But you do have her violin as well, this big giraffe and her little kitty plushie, as well as some crochet stuff. And I think this door was perfect for her room. Like it fits it really nice. Or his, gender neutral, whatever sim child goes in that room. And then this is the quote unquote back door. It just leads you into this side area that we were doing before. Every time I go in there, I think I'm accidentally raising it somehow, and I have no idea how. So let me fix that. Oh no, I'm in play mode. Okay. My bad. Tour's a mess, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I might not be the best real estate agent, but you know what? I'm new. I'm doing what I can. I'm no Phil Dunphy. Sorry, I've been watching Modern Family, but we make it work. Okay. Shift run. Now I'm a little short, but that's okay. I'd rather be short than tall. So this is the bathroom. Maybe not. I might have to cut this part out and retry it. We're doing our best, right? That's all that matters. Okay, we'll have to make this height too. I'm back to the same height I was. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. So anyways, this is the bathroom. I have little towels hanging up there, a little medicine cabinet. Got the shower tub combo. I think it looks really cute. This is I think this might be the Realm of Magic tile, but I thought it had the right vibes and energy for this space. And then if our super tall selves go back around through the front door, this is the... Oh my goodness, guys, I am so sorry. Again, we're doing our best. Oh, it's a button I'm hitting. I don't know how to hit certain buttons when I want to find them, but I always seem to find them when I don't want to. Anyways, you come in here to the primary bedroom. It's very simple and like soft and subtle, but I think it works for what it is. It's really cute. And I love this bed in this game, this canopy bed. And I put a debug wedding certificate above it as well on their headboard area. And this is the primary bathroom. It is gorgeous. You have a little built-in like shower area, maybe a little more open than it should be. I think the water would just go everywhere, but it's The Sims, so it's fine. These cabinets are from Spa Day, and I hate using them when they're not built in because they're just open on the side. And I feel like that's kind of weird sometimes, but I think they look really nice built in. Nice big mirror, robe on the wall, towels, all the essentials. All right, and then we're gonna go to the basement. So anyways, if you walk down the stairs that were right by the entry there and all the bedrooms, you come into this area, which is the laundry room. It's a giant laundry room area. Like, look, no one wants to do laundry, but if you have to do laundry, this is a good place to do it. You have a nice big sink there as well, which I feel is really realistic. And then I used this door, and all that's in here is like the sprinkler alarm system, but that's nice to have in game too. And then over here are the nectar, not the nectar collector. It's where you store like the nectar you make in game so that you can like age it. And they're in the basement, so it'll age faster. Love the voids in the game. Anyways, you come in here and you have the teens bedroom, which I think is smaller maybe than their siblings because most of it's only. Oh, it's still hi. My cat meowed at me. I don't know where they are. I might be the same size or a little bigger than their siblings' rooms, but I think it looks really nice too. And they have their own ensuite bathroom in here, which I used the same tile for. I used in all the bathrooms, just different colors of it. And I gave them the design doors, and they have a little typewriter thing. I feel like they're, vintagey, hipster, farmhouse, gothic, whatever all that means was the vibes were down here. So I feel like the typewriter computer fit the energy. I hit the button again. But the last room was I gave them a little closet too. The one I have in the bottom is a bookshelf because I thought it fit nice and like you didn't need to have another wardrobe thing, but I think that all works really well. And then, hi, mister. That's my cat. And then, yeah, that is the whole house. Sorry that my tour, as always, was a little messy. I do my best. But I hope you guys like the house. And if anyone does download it and playing it, I'd love to know down in the comments. You can see all the little bunnies I placed running around. I just think it's such a nice little farmhouse vibe, but still just a family home. Like, if you deleted the farmhouse stuff around, I feel like you could just have this be a nice family home as well without it streaming super farmhousey. Anyways, again, if you play in it or if you have any ideas for builds you'd want to see, please just leave a comment down below. Leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all. Elmay checking out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or week or whenever I see you next. Bye!